Hello and welcome to another episode of Etheric Transmissions. I am your host, Josh Rutledge, and here in just a few minutes we're going to hear a message from one or more members of the council. And as always, after the channeled message comes through, you'll hear my commentary about what the message was, my own thoughts and ideas around it. So thank you again so much for tuning in, and let's get started. Hello, and welcome back. Oh, it's so good to be back here. It is the episode 4, I believe, that we have been joining you via our contact, Josh. Oh my goodness. Wow, Josh would like us to talk with you tonight about two topics. One is around mass contact, and the second one is around abductions. So sticking with the first subject around mass contact, the thought was, or question was, why haven't extraterrestrials made mass contact with humans? The common terminology or example that is given is, why haven't we landed on the White House lawn? Because we are afraid. We are afraid of how you would react. We think that at this stage in your development, it would be detrimental to the ongoing development of your society if we were to simply land on the White House lawn, or any public space for that matter. You have shown us through your current societal structure that you do not do well en masse at accepting new ideas and concepts. Even on accepting ideas and concepts which are not new, but are suddenly thrust into the spotlight. Simply around the things that you're dealing with now having to do with gender identity or sexual preference. You take your own misconstrued moral and ethical code and you apply it to everyone. What might be right for one is not necessarily right for all. But this is the way that so many of you approach it. And so we are fearful that all of a sudden the injection of some new, highly advanced life form, in addition to humanity, would rock your understanding of what life is, what you are, how unique you are, even though you are fairly unique in the cosmos. But it would still, nonetheless, change in you some aspect of yourself. Some of you, those who are more open to new ideas and concepts, would just say, of course, we already knew this, of course. But so many of you who are closed off, who are protective of your sensibilities, would look at the experience and be forever fearful. And what you fear, so many of you attack. And so this is the reason why we do not do mass contact. We do mass sightings from time to time, such as the event that took place in Phoenix in 1997, and some others that have taken place around the globe. We prefer, though, to change the hearts and minds of humanity one or two people at a time. The awakening moment, if you will. The seeing something, experiencing something that you cannot explain, causes you to reevaluate the nature of your reality. And in doing so, opens you to the possibility to diversity, immense diversity in the universe. We have tried to make contact with you, those ones and twos levels, with species that are similar looking to yours, who walk on 2 feet, who have 2 eyes, 2 ears, a mouth. But you must understand that the abundance of life that exists in the universe is so vast and different that there are species that exist that look nothing like anything you could ever imagine. There are species that exist that are gelatinous, species that are made of pure energy, that can simply slide in and out of a physical form as needed to interact with different spaces. There are entities that are covered in eyeballs, hundreds of eyeballs. There are entities which have 18 legs. There are entities which have 2 legs but no arms. Bottom line, we have slowly begun to introduce you to ideas and concepts that challenge your current understanding of yourself, of humanity, of the purpose for which you are here. And even in those gradual introductions, we are often met with fear, which leads me to the next topic of abductions. So many of what you all refer to as abductions are simply interactions with friends. When you are children, those interactions are generally openly accepted because you're more open to magic and the unknown. But as you age and you interact with societal norms and movies and books and TV and etc. that influence your perception of unknown experiences, you take that with you on your journey. When you have that interaction then with some species, you apply those preconceived biases because of those external influences, and you apply them to the situation, and now you are suddenly inside of your own personalized horror film. It is only after working with someone to uncover the layers and peel back the film that you have placed over top of the experience to reveal that it was simply a checkup. They wanted to make sure you were okay. A good example of this is your known in the UFO community, Travis Walton. He was badly injured, and they took him on board to treat his wounds and ensure that he would live. Your Hollywood took the story and made it into a horror film. Talk with Travis. He does not feel this way today. You take into your experiences those taunted, tainted ideas of what they are meant to be. Instead, the next time you go to investigate a house for a spirit contact, or you go out for a CE5, carry with you nothing of a preconceived idea of what is supposed to happen, or what you think the entity is. Carry nothing with you. Approach it openly, with love in your heart. Be ready and willing to experience whatever it is that experience is there to offer. Only then will you truly experience what it means to make contact. I turn you back over to Josh until we talk again. Well, thank you, members of the council. That felt like self. The energy I'm starting to be able to recognize, and that felt like self. So, very interesting. These are some of these thoughts around open contact make sense, right? Take the Kelly Hopkinsville case, right, in Kentucky, in the 50s. They shot at them with shotguns, and you might say, well, that was Kentucky, but can you really say wherever you're listening to this at, wherever you happen to be, can you really say that there are not people in your area that would shoot at these things if they were to try to land? It's some, you're watching a football game and something. Who would pull something out and shoot at it? So, yeah, I think it makes sense that, we're not quite ready as a society to be accepting of something that's not human. We can't even accept each other with our differences. I often have heard the idea of, looking past our differences. But I think in order for us to really grow as a society, we can't take that stance to look past our differences. We have to embrace our differences. The things that make each one of us individuals, that make us individually unique, those are the things that strengthen our society, our culture. Outside of hate. If you carry hate in your heart, there is no place in society for that. Hate is a virus, and the only cure for that virus is love. The old adage, fight fire with fire. You can't fight hate with hate. All you get out is hate. You have to fight hate with love. Something that I've been working through lately. I want to ask a question for anybody who's listening. If Hitler, the man, was still alive today, would you be able to show him love? Knowing all the atrocities that he did, would you be able to show him love? It's a really hard question to be asked. And I'm not sure that I know what the answer would be. If that's too far removed, think about someone else in your society that has done horrible things, that is presently doing horrible things. Can you love them? Is it possible to not agree, not respect, not condone, but still love? Because I think that's the only way we're ever going to get to the other side of this place that we are in as a society. Is if we can express that unconditional love for our fellow human. Something that I read recently really got me thinking. Do you think people who do what we would consider, or what a lot would consider, evil, do you think they do them for the sake of being evil? Or is it somehow twisted in their mind that they feel they are doing good? I guess the question is, do people do evil for the purpose of doing evil? Anyways, I would love to know your thoughts on the stuff that was talked about in the message, your thoughts on some of the things that I added towards the end. I'm on Facebook, Etheric Transmissions, but I'm on Messenger. Heck, you can even hit me up, Josh Rutledge, on Messenger. I'm not the baseball player. You can also go to my website, etherictransmissions.com, and drop me a line there. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to know, what are your thoughts on this or any of the messages that have come through so far? Yeah. So anyways, thank you so much again for tuning in. please consider sharing this with others that you may that you feel like may find benefit from hearing the messages or the concepts discussed. And we'll talk to you again in a couple weeks. Have a wonderful afternoon, a wonderful day, and remember, you are loved, and you are worthy of love.